walking through life having invisible strings attached to your every move, subtly pulling you back into familiar patterns and pitfalls. Today, we're going to embark on a journey to unravel the tangled web of our past wounds and their influence on our present choices. So join me as we explore the profound question, are your wounds choosing for you? Let's go. Welcome to Empress Expressions. My name is Amber and I'm the Empress here, and I welcome you if you are new or returning. Today we're going to talk about, are your wounds choosing for you? Do you have these patterns and these wounds that show up and they're literally making choices for you and sending you in directions that you really don't want to go in, right? So we're going to dig into it and talk about how you can address that, you can ask yourself the question, are your wounds choosing for you? And I feel like just asking yourself that question is going to ignite and activate an awareness in you, so that moving forward and after this video, moving forward, you will find yourself more aware of your wounds, your patterns, and your traumas, and if they are choosing for you. That is my intention that I set on this video for you all. So let's get into it. The first thing is recognizing patterns of behaviors. Our unresolved emotional wounds can subconsciously influence our thoughts, our feelings, and actions, leading us to repeat harmful patterns in our lives. So an example that I have written here is past experiences of abandonment may cause someone to fear intimacy, right? Fear intimacy and also push away potential partners, leading to a pattern of continuously failed relationships. This is huge right here, like huge. Like if you at some point in time in your life, whether it was during childhood, young adulthood, and even as an adult, if you ever experienced a sense of abandonment, feeling abandoned, feeling like someone just left you, gave up on you, never showed up for you, said they were going to do something and didn't do it, and you associate that with abandonment, that is a significant wound that has to be addressed, because if not, then it's going to choose for you moving forward. You're going to vibrationally match with people that abandon you. Okay? Because why? That's first off, because that's just how the universe works, right? We are all vibrational matches to all the people that we connect to in somehow or another. But if you are connecting to people that will abandon you or are abandoners, don't know if that's a word, but will do that or have done that, that's bringing up in you a wound and a trigger that needs to be addressed, right? So recognizing the pattern of behavior, because then what happens is now you're going to move through life with that fear of abandonment, and you're going to bring these people in, but then push them away. Bring these people in and then push these people away, right? Because you have to address the abandonment wound. You have to address the trauma, right? For children, if you had a parent that was absent and now you're an adult and you're trying to connect with people and have a relationship, a meaningful relationship, you're aware, you're doing all the things, you're doing the inner work and all the stuff, right? You find somebody, you connect with somebody, you're really vibing, and then all of a sudden, all this stuff starts coming up. That's the wound choosing for you, or attempting to, at least trying to choose for you. And I say this because I am familiar with it. I have worked through abandonment issues, rejection issues, fear issues. I don't say this stuff because I have not experienced it. And I have noticed throughout my life that I will attract people into my life that will do that. And I realize that it's just a reactivation of something that I have not healed within myself. Because in all reality, you cannot be abandoned. You cannot be rejected. That's not, you are an expression of the divine. You can't be abandoned. You can't be rejected. But if you believe that you can, it's because there's a wound there. Number two. So number two is exploring triggers and reactions. Paying attention to our triggers and emotional reactions can provide valuable insight into the wounds we carry and how they impact our choices and relationships. So an example is being criticized at work may trigger feelings of inadequacy stemming from childhood, experiences of parental disapproval. We all know what that feels like, right? And it could lead to defensive behavior or avoidance tactics that hinder professional growth. So for those that, are in a work environment or in a work situation where you, find yourself in situations where you could be critiqued. And honestly, this could be in any type of work environment, whether you are working from home, you're your own boss, you're an entrepreneur, whatever it is, if you're going into an office, whatever it is, 9 times out of 10, there's someone somewhere that has the ability to critique what you are producing when it comes to work. That can definitely be a trigger, right? And within this example, that could stem from childhood, just like maybe feeling like you never were able to really satisfy or make your parents happy with anything that you did. It just was never enough. It was never quite enough. It was, you did really good, but you did really good, or maybe you could do it this. Like there was always something. It was never just enough. And if you can relate with that, drop some emojis down in the comments. Just let others know that they're not alone in that. But exploring those triggers and exploring the reactions, if you automatically get defensive, that's something to explore. If someone expressed something to you and you automatically get defensive, there's some work that needs to be done there. Hands down, there is some work that needs to be done there. Because the question that you first need to ask yourself, why am I triggered? Why am I being so reactive? What is that about? What is that about? Number 3, healing and awareness. You can break free from destructive patterns and make conscious choices that align with your values and your goals. An example is healing different wounds in your life will help you really be able to consciously choose different thoughts that feel better and are in alignment with your goals. So after you have recognized the pattern, right? You've recognized the pattern of behavior. You've explored the triggers and the reaction. So you recognize, I do this thing over here, right? As soon as I get in a relationship with somebody, it's all going great. And then all of a sudden, I get like super wrapped up in my thoughts. And I start thinking of all the things that could go wrong, or all the things that are possibly wrong with me, even though there's nothing wrong with you. Whatever that is, so you've recognized that pattern, and now you're exploring the triggers and the reaction, because with those patterns, trust and believe there are actions that are coming from that. So you're exploring those triggers, exploring how you're reacting. Maybe you start saying certain things to sabotage the relationship. Maybe you start doing certain things. Maybe you pull back on your communication. Maybe you start asking questions that to get, subconsciously, right? Now you're asking questions to maybe see if you can get a rise out of the person. Like you're trying to do things to make this wound okay instead of healing the wound. But we're talking about healing and self-awareness. So once you've done all of those things, now you get to make conscious decisions to move and think in a different way. So if you have a wound and you have patterns of behavior around abandonment, and you've done some work on that, you've done some acknowledging of that, you've explored that, and now you're in the healing process of that. So now you move with intention. You take notes, you journal, you do voice notes on your phone, you have conversations with that person, right? Because that's the only way to shift out of what it is that you've been doing, is you intentionally dig your feet into the opposite, right? You dig your feet into what it is that you actually want to experience. If you feel like nobody really wants to hear what you have to say, then you're going to go the opposite way. And, with balance and, some discernment, of course, you express yourself, you say the things, you put your heart out there, you say what you need to say. And you let go of the fear, right? You may feel it, but you let that go. You don't let that hold you back from expressing yourself so that you can make an authentic connection with somebody. If you have a fear of abandonment, maybe you need to say that you have a fear of abandonment. So like doing the opposite, becoming aware of what needs to be done in order to get where you want to go. How do you get yourself in alignment with having that beautiful, loving relationship? How do you get yourself in alignment with that? How do you get yourself in alignment with having the money and the funds and the stability that you truly desire? Regardless of how you grew up, regardless of what your parents said about money, regardless of their relationship with money, how do you move forward in getting yourself in alignment with what it is that you want? That's all that it's about. What do you want? What do you want to experience? How do you get yourself in alignment with what it is you want to experience? And that's where the healing and the self-awareness, making those decisions to cancel out the wounds, to put that ointment on the wounds, like let that version of yourself know, like, thank you, you've got us this far. I'm gonna put a little ointment, I'm gonna put a little healing ointment on you, but we're moving forward now. You don't want to eradicate that version. You just want to give that version some compassion. Take your awareness and move it into the new version of who you are. Move yourself and keep yourself in alignment with who you want to be, what you want to have. So that's what I have for you when it comes to, are your wounds choosing for you? Are your wounds choosing for you? They don't have to, but the first thing you have to do is be able to acknowledge that and know if they are, if they aren't. If you need support with this, I'm here for you. Down in the description box, you can email me to reach out to me, or you can book a discovery call. I am in the process with my team and using a new CRM so that I can get all my stuff back up and live, so you can book individual, really specific types of calls and meetings or whatever with me. But in the meantime, you can definitely hit me up through email, or you can go ahead and just book a discovery call, and we can just chop it up and figure out what it is and what type of a game plan needs to be set up, so that I can support you in, really creating and designing the life that you want. Now, as a soul wisdom coach, I specifically tailor my coaching practices and my energy work to women tapping back into their self-love, honoring, respecting their inner masculine, feeling back deeply into their bodies and their emotions, along with several other things. That is my specialty at this point in life. But I am still here if you need support. And just let me know. If anything, I can get you to the right person. So that's what I have for you. The book is still in the works, along with everything else I just mentioned, but everything's coming together as it should. And yeah, in the meantime, in between time, I send you peace, I send you light, and I send you love. Bye.